Hello, cassette community. No, this is not a cassette. But I decided to have this on in the background. When I went to look for cassettes, I happened to see this CD for $2. So I decided to pick it up. It's Jason Isbell, Sirens of the Ditch. So, yeah, I couldn't pass it up. And you'll see the CD is actually in there. Because I'm actually streaming the album from Spotify, but, yeah. For those of you that may be in the vinyl community, I actually found out, well, I had heard of Jason Isbell before, but, one of the members of the vinyl community, Rob Clark, on multiple occasions he's mentioned Jason Isbell. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna try out his stuff, and for $2, I'll gladly pick up the CD and add it to my small CD collection. Well, small but not that small, I guess. I have maybe a few hundred CDs. Yeah, so there you go. All right. But the point here is, I did pick up some cassettes. So, these are in no particular order. The first one here, and these were at the Pet Adoption Center thrift shop, and they have their cassettes for 25 cents each. That's one of the reasons I went specifically looking for cassettes, because we're trying to, you know, keep things on a budget right now, and so I was specifically going for the cassettes because I knew they were cheap. So this is Landscape, Coyote Old Man. The reason I picked this up, well, it says music and compositions by Barry Stramp and Michael Graham Allen, but the thing that really sold me on it was the instruments it mentions: Native American flute, Incan panpipes, log drum, tube bells, and stick. So this is going to be an excellent addition to my international music collection, and I like the artwork too. That's pretty cool. So that's the first one, 25 cents. I picked up a couple of Hiroshima. I know the name. It's a pretty famous name, actually, in music. But for the life of me, I can't place what kind of music it is. My initial reaction is New Age. I could be entirely wrong, though. Or, I don't know. I'm not going to make any more guesses. I'll just make myself look foolish. But this is Hiroshima. Looks like it's self-titled, actually. From 1979. And then also I picked up Hiroshima, Adori. And the copyright's covered up on this one. Yeah. Yeah, they put, whoever had these, they had a numbering system. So the numbering sticker is covering up the copyright. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. It's all about the music. Now this one looks very interesting. Third World, Rock the World. Again, there's the numbering system. I'm a sucker for Phil Collins. For some reason, I have no reasoning for it, but for some reason, Phil Collins is my favorite member of Genesis. And I have closely, well, not that closely, but I have followed his solo career as well. But here we have the Buster soundtrack. I guess it was a movie starring Phil Collins. too sure about that, but but one of the songs on here is Two Hearts. That's a classic Phil Collins, Two Hearts. Yeah, so 25 cents, man. Gotta pick it up. Here we go. Billy Ocean, Tear Down These Walls. The packaging on this looks so simple that I almost thought maybe it's a pirated copy. Oh, the number just flew off. But it has, you know, it's a complete fold out, and it's just strange that it's just in black and white, and the design is very simple. And but yeah, I like me some Billy Ocean. I haven't heard that much of him, actually, other than, I guess, his one big hit in probably the 80s. Yeah. A couple more. I'll save that one for last. This one, Bing Crosby, My Favorite Irish Songs. That should be interesting. Again, kind of lends itself to my international music collection. From 1997. Interesting. I love that picture, though. Yeah, there's people have brought up negative stories about Bing Crosby and his personal life, but the way I look at it is any art is all about the art itself. If we tried to scrutinize the artists, we're just going to end up not liking any art, basically. Because most artists are kind of, at least on some level, they're kind of tortured souls. I mean, that's very often where their art comes from. So, yeah. Well, and then another example, my favorite band is The Doors, and of course, you know, Jim Morrison, he was, I'm going to put it bluntly, he was a real asshole. But am I gonna not like The Doors because he was an asshole? No. Their music is way too good for that. So you just have to make a distinction between the art and the artist. Yeah. So, you know, and not to mention, we don't, at least I don't know for sure if those stories about Bing Crosby were true. But I think they were coming from his kids, so I don't know. But anyway, and the last pickup for 25 cents, Van Halen 2. Nice. It has Spanish Fly. That's the only one I recognize offhand, but it's from 1979, so, you know, I was like 7 years old at that time, so I'm probably not the most familiar with this album. But yeah, there you go. A nice stack of tapes. Let's see, this was $2. $2. Whenever you can pick up 8 tapes for $2, good thing. Oh, speaking of which, I also went to Goodwill, and they had some really good tapes. Really good tapes. So I had a stack of tapes and a stack of records, and I was like, I can't get all this. The tapes at Goodwill are 99 cents, which, you know, 4 times as much as the Pet Adoption Center thrift shop. So I was like, I can't get all this stuff. But there was some really good tapes, and I'm regretting not just getting them. In fact, I think I'm gonna go back and get them. Yeah, we're talking Susie and the Banshees, and There were a couple of Susie and the Banshees, actually. I'm not remembering offhand what the other ones are. Someone had donated tapes from their collection, and they appeared to be primarily into hard rock, possibly heavy metal. So some of them were leaning towards that, although they were bands I had heard of, but had never heard anything by them. So I was eager to pick them up, but then I had this big stack of 15 records, and I was like, I can't get all this stuff, because, we're trying to stay on the budget, so, but I don't know, I don't think I can pass those up. I may have to go back. Anyway, there you go. Again, we are listening. I am loving this CD. Oh. Jason Isbell, Sirens of the Ditch. I'm not sure. I think this might be his first album. He looks very young on the cover. Yeah, he looks very young there. Yeah, but see, this is the kind of I don't know if this should even be described as country music, but to me it's kind of country music, but leaning more towards like outlaw country. And in fact, I think I was listening to an outlaw country station one time, and they actually played Jason Isbell. Jim Isbell is actually a friend of my wife's. Jason Isbell, yes. Yeah, but they were playing that on an outlaw country station, and I think that's kind of what I prefer. I like a darker edge to my country music. When it's all, knee slapping and a good old time and happy, and I don't know, talking about drinking and stuff, and I could very easily do without it. But the darker stuff, yeah. Now this is sounding like it has more of a rock edge to it. But anyway, this isn't about the CD. But yeah, I'm very pleased I picked this up, though. I'm loving it. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. And maybe I'll make another video later today. All right. Again, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.